Yo, welcome back to another video, y'all. If you are much like me, you stopped playing the game at some point and then you came back. Either that or you're looking at coming back to the game now, and I'm here to tell you that this is the perfect time for you to start back on this game. We have season 3 around the corner. I believe it's August 7th, and there is a bunch of new stuff here. So I'm not going to make you go around having to search multiple videos on how to catch up on all the new stuff that is here. This video is going to be your one-stop shop for you to come and learn about everything new that's in this game now. I'm going to help you prepare for season 3. If this video helps you, don't forget to drop a subscribe, also drop a like and a comment, and without further ado, let's get to the video. First things first, I just want to point out that this is not going to be a beginner's guide, meaning that I'm going to assume that you've already played this game before. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying that if you're a beginner, you're not going to understand the concepts of this video. What I'm saying is that I'm just not going to go in depth on everything in this video. If you would like for me to go in depth on one specific thing, put it in the comment section down below and I'll definitely go in depth for you. So to start this off, there are 3 new descendants that might have dropped while you're away.
Inesrea, Hound Unit, commencing operations. I will not be afraid. I will surely restore hope.
So, what's my role? Cook or arsonist?
The first one is Anais, the second one is Serena, and then the last one is Ultimate Blair. Why am I mentioning these descendants? I'm mentioning these descendants because, as you guys know, on your first time leveling each descendant up to level 40, it increases your mastery rank, meaning that we're closer to getting mastery rank 30. So even though you've been away for so long, the first descendant still doesn't allow for us to get to mastery rank 30 yet. Also, moving on to the weapons, we did get 3 new weapons: Truly Deadly Arson, Ancient Knight, ATAMs. Again, the only reason I'm mentioning this is because it adds to our mastery rank. As you know, you need to level up all your weapons to level 40 at least once to add it to your mastery rank. The last new thing as far as characters and weapons that we got is a new fellow. So this is a Vesper's hunting dog. The only other difference that I see in this dog is that it will auto refill rounds, which pretty much means that it will refill the rounds for your weapon in use at regular intervals. Once again, you need to level this dog up to level 30 to get it to the max mastery for yourself. But all in all, I still have to do 10 more levels on the new dog. I think the max mastery that we can get right now is rank 29 and just a little bit over half. So I'm thinking like 140,000 ish. By the end of this video, I should have the max mastery so I can let you guys know. The next thing that's important is Arche Tuning. So Arche Tuning is this map which gives you extra buffs and perks to certain things. As you see here on the left side of my screen, these are all the applied Arche Tuning effects that I got. There really isn't too much difficulty in understanding what's going on. You get the levels, you spin it on the points, and then this is the effect that you get. The important thing that I want to point out is the mutant cell inventory, and I'm going to do this with you guys. So mutant cell inventory is pretty much enhancements that you get. With these enhancements, the only way that you can apply it is if you unlock a mutant cell slot. Mutant cell slots are at each corner, and you get these mutant cells by doing the tactical transport control missions, which when you get back onto the game, you're going to eventually find out what this is. So there's a mission that takes you through all of it. As you finish the mission, you have a chance of getting a spoil box. So when you get a spoil box, it goes into your inventory and you have to pick which content in the spoil box that you want to open the spoil box for. Now, like I said, I am going to do this with you guys. So I have a clean slate here. I have 24 Arche tunings that I own. These are the mutant cell slots that I obtained. What's important to note is the type of slot you need to unlock. As you see here, I had 3 Xantix and I have 1 Cerulean. If I was going to unlock a mutant cell slot, I need to make sure I unlock either one or the other of that slot. And by the looks of it, the only slot that I can put in is this Xantix slot. I would need to spend my points to get all the way up to that Xantix slot. And you can go through the path just to make sure that you're getting the right upgrades that you want and the right effects. I'm not going to do it per se, so I'm not saying this is the right way. I'm not saying this is the wrong way. I just want to show you guys the mutant cell slot. So now I've unlocked the slot. Unlocking it will consume some of these materials. And now I can equip a mutant cell in this slot. And once again, I can only do the Xantix slots. So if I was to do this one, every time that I kill an enemy infected with poison, I get skill power plus 9.5%. So equipping that will use the cell, but as you see here, now I'm getting my effect applied. Arche tuning really isn't too difficult to understand if you're into MMOs or RPGs. It's basically just an unlock system. You got a skill tree and then you use the skill tree how you see fit. I currently went for all the firearm attack and explosive attack buffs because I like to do more damage, and that's pretty much all Arche tuning is. It looks pretty difficult. It looks like a lot when you first see it, but once you kind of understand what you're doing, it's pretty much just a skill tree. The next thing that I want to mention is new mods. We have a whole new bullet effect. It is called multi-hit damage and multi-hit chance, which is pretty much what it sounds like. Multi-hit refers to the multiplier applied to a firearm damage by multi-hit when a firearm hit triggers a multi-hit. Multi-hit triggers based on multi-hit chance, and multi-hit chance is just a chance of that happening. If you want to increase the DPS on your weapon, definitely go into learning more about multi-hit damage and multi-hit chance. I'm not going to go too in-depth on it. This video isn't about weapon and what's your most DPS that you can figure out on your weapon, but those are 2 new weapon effects that you would need to look into. There are a bunch of new external components. Once again, I won't go too in-depth on them. You can do your own research on if you want it or not. What I think will be really important for me to get into is this station right here. This station has gotten a lot more important than it was in the past. In addition to Dieselin and the weapon workbench, we now have 2 new important workbenches that you will need to know about. The first one is the auxiliary workbench. So as always, we could always do our reactor enhancement, but now what we could do is we can implant each reactor that we want to implant it with. So let's just say I'm trying to implant this reactor right here. It has a beam rifle class and I don't like it. What I can do is select any reactor that I want. I don't use beam rifles, but I sure enough use submachine guns. What I can do is I can take another reactor and implement its components onto the reactor that I want to use. If I wanted to implement a submachine gun class on this reactor so that I can now use this reactor with my submachine gun, this is all I would need to do. Unfortunately, I don't have enough material, so I can't show y'all now, and plus I don't want to do it on this reactor, but this is as simple as that. We can also enhance reactor options on the reactor that we want, so we don't have to keep searching for reactor options if it's not already gold. If you have a purple or even blue, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is come here and you can enhance the option. You can make the option into a gold option. All we need is the reactor that has the option that we want, and we can enhance it to be gold, which, man, I wish I would have known this before, because this saved me a bunch of time. And then we can also do the same thing with our external component option. We no longer have to search for external components or reactors that have gold options. All we need to have is the options that we want, and we can level it up to the gold standard that we look for. So definitely a big time saver on that. And then lastly, in this area, the core crafting workbench. When I tell you this is going to be your bread and butter, what are weapon cores? You're going to go through this. There's a mission about weapon cores. It's going to force you to upgrade one of your weapons. Weapon cores will make your weapon go from this to this if you know what you're doing. Each weapon is going to have their own set of augmentations. As you see here from my thunder cage, you see that these augmentations are different. This is what it's going to look like once a weapon has a core inquired into it. And like I said, each weapon is going to have their own set of augmentation. In my Enduring Legacy, I have 1 free augmentation, 1 hit augmentation, 2 precision augmentations, and 1 special augmentation. With these augmentations, you're going to need augmentation core. cores. I'll go more in depth into how to get augmentation cores after I explain this. What free augmentation means is that you can use any augmentation core in this slot that you want. Here it shows you the grantable options. So you can go down this list and you can figure out what you want in your gun. As you see here, you can get 80% plus firearm attack. So what I need to do is figure out the firearm attack augmentation core, which is this one. And then I pretty much equipped it. Cores come in different levels. As you see here, I have a level 5, a level 6, a level 7, 8, 9, and 10. I believe it goes all the way down to level 1, I believe. The higher level the core, the more increased stats that you can get. As you see here, I have a level 10 selected. So if I go over to the grantable options, this is the percentage of effects that this core can grant. If I were to go to like my level 5 here, you see that the percentage dropped dramatically, meaning that level 10s are very important. And yes, the level cores do go all the way down to 1. So if I were to try to use this core, if you don't have anything on it at first, once you use this core, it's going to automatically put it in the slot. But because I have something in this slot already, if I use this core, it's going to give me the option. Do I want to keep it or do I want to go to the option that it gave me? Now, I'm going to keep my option because the option that it's trying to give me is a lot less percentage wise than the option that I have. And it's the same thing. So I'm going to keep my option. If you're playing on PC, you need to click and then keep it. If you're playing on console, I believe there's a button that you can choose to either keep or give. So I am going to keep the option. Now, if I were to roll again, it could either give me a better option or it can give me something completely different. Now I have bonus firearm attack versus Colossus. Personally, I'm going to keep my firearm attack at 77% because I don't really care about a Colossus right now. I care about fighting other things than just Colossus. So I'm going to keep my firearm attack here. And it's going to be the same thing for each one. So the hit augmentation, there's only a certain type of hit cores that you can search here. So you have a variant A, B, and then you have the normal hit core. Depending on the core that you select, it's going to give you different grantable options. This is just going to depend on what you want. Right now, I actually don't know what the best option is. Honestly, all these options seem great. So it just depends on what you want. And then same thing for the precision one, same thing for the special augmentation. There isn't really too much in depth to what to go here. The only thing that I can tell you is just for you to read through all of the grantable options and the different core slots that you want, and then you can pick for yourself what you want. In my opinion, the only options that are important for the Enduring Legacy is this free augmentation and the hit augmentation. And like I was saying before, choosing a different gun has different augmentation and different augmentation slots. You can see here that I did a bunch of fire rate increase on my restored relic. Why did I do that? Because the restored relic is broken right now. That's exactly why I did it. All I needed for this is to increase my fire rate. And if you're going to play this game from now on, you're going to see the reason why I did it this way. But it just depends on what you want, honestly. At the end of the day, it's all what you want and how you want to build your weapon. Definitely invest into these augmentations because you're going to need them. The next thing about this is the external component core. With these external component cores, it's pretty much the same thing, but you don't need to put a core into the external component for it to work. You automatically have this unlocked. And then the same thing from level 1 down to level 10. And level 10 will grant you certain things that you want. As you see here, I got increased max AP because I didn't feel like I needed anything else. Y'all already know about me. I don't use shield. I think shields suck in this game and they haven't changed that since I've gotten on. But I like max HP. And then for the defensive augmentation, I didn't see the point in doing anything else, so I just did a defense. Using level 10s so I can get the greatest ones that I need, and it's pretty much that. You do the same thing for all of your external cores. So it just depends on what you want. And then lastly, you can craft these cores. You don't have to go do the mission that I'm about to show you in order to get these cores all the time. You can craft these cores. Now, granted, they do cost a lot. So in my opinion, I will only craft level 10 cores. Everything else I won't use to craft. I don't necessarily know how the material details cost, but I do know that it does this automatically, so I wouldn't too much worry about it. If you wanted to auto craft cores, you can do it automatically there. If you're at a level 1 and you come here and you're like, oh crap, I can auto craft a level 5, 100% do that, because level 5 is only going to bump your stats up a bunch more than level 1 could. I'm not saying only craft level 10s. Me personally, I'm at the point where I don't need any other lower levels, so I'm only going to craft level 10 augmentation cores. I'm not going to waste my time crafting anything else. So let me just craft all of these. I want to show you guys something. let's just say I come here and I can't craft the level 10 core that I want. I don't have any, I can't craft any. It is not the end of the world if you don't want to do that mission again. You can come over here to core conversion and you can convert the level 10 core that you want. If I didn't have any firepower augmentations, I can convert some. As you see here, each conversion consumes 3 material cores. I will say use this sparingly. If I know for a fact I'm not going to use any hit augmentation variant AB, I'm going to use these cores because these are 3-to-1. I have to use 3 level 10 cores to get 1 level 10 cores. So this is a great reason right here. I know for a fact I'm not going to use the variant AB for these hit augmentations. I can come to core conversion. I can use the 10 hit augmentations variant AB that I have, and I can get 3 of the hit augmentations that I want. This is a big time saver if I wanted to do it this way. And I have 3 more chances that I didn't have before using some cores that I were never going to use. Now, the next question might be, well, how do we get these cores? And that is simple. Go to your map here and it is called Void Erosion Purge. Void Erosion Purge, you have to go level by level. Each level will increase the quantity of cores that you get. Also, if you make it to level 3, the core conversion level goes from level 5 to level 6. These missions are difficult. Doing them alone is going to be pretty hard unless you have an OP character. I would say do this with other people. Don't do a private operation unless you're just like that or you can't find a partner to do it. They are difficult and they are timed. You have 15 minutes to complete the whole thing. If you don't do it in 15 minutes, you cannot move on to the next level. Once you're done with the normal, you go to the challenge. Now, to this day, I still haven't completed a challenge. And if you're able to complete a challenge, you get level 10 cores. As long as you're able to do this level 10, you will get some level 10 cores just within the mission itself. It doesn't tell you exactly how many you get, but you will get some. I think it's like 3 of them, but you will get some. And well, I think that's it. If you understand all those concepts, you'll be pretty caught up to season 3. With the addition of Nail and the addition of 2 new weapons, we will be able to reach mastery rank 30. And it looks like we have a whole new map. I'm super excited to play that. I can't wait. And if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop a comment. I will gladly answer that comment to the best of my abilities. And if I can't answer the comments, somebody else will answer the comment. Don't forget to drop a thumbs up on this video. Also subscribe to my channel because I'm only dropping great content like this for you guys. And without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.